podcast. Welcome back to another episode of Survival Time, bitch. Okay, so we finna get into Michael's situation. This is his ex-bodyguard speaking. Now, he's basically saying that he was manipulated by people, which we all should kind of know. A lot of people was in Michael's circle. A lot of people was like, especially during the time of his death and all of that, like, a lot of people was using him for his money. A lot of people was using him for his clout. A lot of people was trying to use him and get something up out of him. Whether it be people that was trying to scam him for like predatory like purposes, or people trying to get money out of him through being a doctor and all type of other shit. So we finna see what he's saying.
I heard you make a comment about how they tried to pressure Michael into selling his catalog. They tried a few times, right?
Michael would get offers all the time to purchase the catalogue. And I won't say the name, but people can work it out. There would be, so when we stay in the penthouse suites of hotels where big superstars stay, we have another level of security. You've got concierge and you've got the hotel security, and we'd stay under a fake name, always. Normally a Disney character or whatever it would be, okay? And so Michael had his privacy. So when the phone would call, the landline, Michael tried the mobile phone thing, it didn't work out because everyone would get his number, he'd get harassed silly. He used to throw them in the Neverland Lake, and he said, Matt, if they ever emptied the Neverland Lake, all they're going to find all these mobile phones there. Because all the managers that he had would always try and give him a phone because he was quite difficult to get hold of. So when the phone would ring in his bedroom, then he would know it would be somebody who was allowed to have his number. But there was a certain superstar, who we can't name because we'll get sued, who was linked to this catalogue, who never really forgave Michael about buying it, who recommended that he goes and buys music. You know who I'm talking about. And Michael would come out of his room some days crying, saying, he's got to me, he's been abusive on the phone to me, and he will never forgive me for buying this catalogue. But he said he gave this person several times the chance to buy this catalogue back, but he wasn't willing to pay the money. And at the time, he didn't want to bid for it. He didn't think it was going to go for the money. Michael, at the time, I think he bought it for like the ATV catalog for like 48 million, which you go back then, it's got to be $500 million at least. He had the guts to go for it, whereas the artists that had the music didn't. So yeah, a lot of people didn't forgive him, and there was death threats and stuff, and threats against his life about the catalogue. He was the most powerful man in the music industry. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every time somebody would sing on stage, they'd ask Michael Jackson if it's okay, and then he would get paid commission for it. And they wrote the songs. Like when Eminem dissed him in that music video. Michael was very calm about it. And we couldn't believe it because the guy, I think Eminem was dressed up or a lookalike or something. He threw his nose on the bed. What was the single called? Just Lose It, I think it was called. And Michael was unupset. He just stayed really calm, didn't say much. And then we found out a few years later that he bought all of Eminem's songs. So every time that Eminem wanted to play a song, he had to ask Michael Jackson and pay Michael Jackson a fee, or Michael could block it. And yeah, he was smart on that. He was smart, but he was advised by a very famous person. Invest in music publishing. It's a great investment on earth. And yeah, he bought that person's songs basically, and it was never really forgiven. Although I think now it's back with that person, and yeah, I think it was just bad business advice that person received, where Michael just did what he was told.
Was you with Michael when he seen that video for the first time?
No, but my friend was, and Michael did never watch TV, but he would. MTV was a big thing. You remember how big MTV was? It's huge, right? And it was just one channel, so he would watch MTV, and when that came out, my friend was with him. And yeah, no reaction really. I can tell you who the friend was. It was Mark Lester, who played Oliver in the Oliver Twist film. His best friend. They were child stars together in the same magazines together, and he was sat next to him watching it on MTV, and there was no reaction. And Mark said to Michael, "Are you going to sue Eminem?" He's like, "It's okay. Don't worry about it. These things happen, you know. It's show business, and you should respect other artists. I would never do that to him."
As far as what the fuck he said about Paul McCartney, I wish the fuck I would find out Paul McCartney was trying to threaten Michael Jackson. I would slap the shit out of Paul McCartney. As far as what he's saying, as far as Eminem go, Eminem know he was a bitch for that move. Well, I ain't gonna say he know. He was just a bitch for that move. because a lot of people speak down on Michael and make it seem like he was a predator, but he never touched no child. He never had no evidence against him or anything. So I always hated that people played on him like that. I remember that video with Eminem throwing up and all that bullshit. It was sad. And to see that other black artists didn't stick up for him, and a lot of people who wearing his shit right now, putting on the glove, was out back then. People going to the movie talking that shit about, oh man, I'm the biggest Michael Jackson fan. AI and all that, never heard of you, never seen you when it was really time, when it counted, when it mattered. But you can say whatever you want to say now because the man's gone and everybody's on his dick. But when Michael needed support, wasn't nobody there, bro.
And as he said, it's a shame because he liked Eminem's music. He used to play Eminem's music a lot. Yeah, and then we found out. I heard a rumor from another friend. Then I called Mark. I said, "Is this true that he's bought all of Eminem's music?" He goes, "Yeah, he has." And it was the biggest kick in the teeth ever. But I think Eminem's come out there and said it was a mistake that he made, and he wished he never did it, and he wished he made peace with Michael Jackson before Michael passed away. But Eminem had people in his ear, no doubt. He was young. You know, we all did. We all had people in our ear around these superstars who get in the way and try and take advantage of our own access to him, you know, and so forth. I remember a funny moment when I was with Jermaine and Tito, and we were in a diner in Encino, California, near the Havenhurst home. And behind us, there was a family, and it was a birthday party, and they were singing Happy Birthday. And Tito said, I hope they're going to write a royalty check out for my brother for singing that song, because he owned the Happy Birthday song. But I believe he owned Beyonce songs, Eminem songs. I mean, Elvis Presley, a lot of the songs. Obviously, he owned the Beatles catalogue, which is the most famous and controversial one. But yeah, so I believe some Bob Dylan. He just used to buy it all up. His lawyer was very clever. John Branco was very clever when it come to that. That was his speciality.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people was mad over him owning that Beatles catalog.
It's controversial because Paul McCartney, they were recording Say, Say, Say at what was known as Sycamore Valley Ranch, which is now Neverland Ranch. Michael loved it there so much he bought the ranch, and he asked for investment advice, and Paul McCartney said, you should buy music. And Michael turned to him and said, I'm going to buy your songs one day. And Paul just laughed it off. Paul's been on TV and talked about this, and he just laughed it off. And yeah, he ended up buying all Paul McCartney's and the Beatles songs. And actually, it really saddened Michael, because I was in the back of a car. We were coming back from an event, and he said to me, you know what I miss about London so much? So what is it, Mike? He goes, I miss going to Paul McCartney's house and hanging out with him and Linda, his late wife, who died of breast cancer. And we were such close friends, and I really regret that me and Paul didn't talk more, and that the way things have ended up, you know. But he was not happy about the breakdown in the relationship. He didn't think he'd done anything wrong. He said to me that I gave Paul countless times to buy the records back, but the relationship was broken down so much, and lawyers were fighting, and he didn't believe that Paul got the messages via lawyer to lawyer, that the lawyers were not passing the message on to Paul. Because that what used to happen a lot. So I would leave a message with certain people and assistants or other bodyguards, and they all want to try and keep Michael to themselves. This happened a lot with celebrities. And they wouldn't pass your message on, because I would have a certain influence over Michael Jackson to do or not do something. This is why his family was shut out. His family were trying to rescue him and help him. But Michael was told by the people around him, they just want to get hold of you to become the Jackson 5 again and tour the world, because they've all got no money anymore, you know. And he used to listen to them. But in fact, they heard what was going on with the doctors and the medication abuse and the financial, and they wanted to get him back in the family fold. They had no interest in getting back on the road. They wanted their little brother back. So when Jermaine tried to get through to him, Tito, they used to beg me, come on, Matt, is there any way that we can get Michael to understand we do not want to do a tour?
People be talking that shit about Jermaine, but I be saying this all the time. I done said this in a couple videos, bro. The nigga Jermaine actually be kind of like sometimes trying to help. Even though he done been on some other shit sometimes, he didn't actually try to put forth effort to stop Michael from doing certain shit. He didn't actually put his foot down when people speak down on his brother, even when he was alive and when he died. He was always there when his trial came. But Jermaine always had his brother back. People talk a lot of shit about Jermaine. Come at Jermaine for a lot of shit. I do too, also sometimes, depending on what the situation is. But Michael's brothers always have his back. I don't give a fuck what nobody say or how much beef they personally got. They ain't never turned their back on him.
We just want our brother back. And they didn't want his money. I remember Tito, it was Christmas time when the iPhones just came out. And every sibling of Michael's got sent a present, the latest iPhone. And Tito didn't want it. So he sent it back to Michael with a note. He wrote it in front of me. And he said, dear little brother, I don't want your money. I don't want the material things off you. I'm not interested in a tour. I just want a telephone conversation with my little brother. I miss you. I love you. Your brother Tito. And he sent the iPhone back to Michael. Yeah. But then the people around him would say, yeah, he's just saying that so that you can get on the phone and then slowly they'll convince you to get back on the road again. And then Joseph would be in charge again. And that's what he was up against all the time. It was hard. I'll get pushed out at times. Mark Lester would get pushed out. Uri Geller got pushed out. And if you told Michael sometimes something he didn't want to hear, then he would find it easier to shut you out and deal with it, and it got worse and worse towards the end, unless you were a doctor, because the doctors had that ability to get him hooked on stuff that even if we would hear stories where the fans would tell us that doctors were selling £10,000 visits to take the fan who took out loans or credit card loans up to Michael's hotel suite to have a picture of him and to be introduced to him. But if we went to Michael with this information, he would choose the doctor over us because they got him hooked on what the movie hints at: Demerol, OxyContin, painkillers and relaxants, downers, sedatives, what eventually killed him, pretty much, what contributed towards his death. So it was very hard to get rid of the doctors. Very difficult. Get rid of one and another one would turn up.
Okay, with the Michael situation, and as far as like his brothers, we always get a half-ass story. We never really get the full story because they don't speak on things. People outside like to say things, but they don't always be 100% true. And some of that shit do be true, but a lot of that shit don't be true, I believe. And this is proof to me because this man was with this man for almost a decade or two. The thing is, I hate that Michael got caught on drugs. I hate that Michael got caught up in the situation he got caught up in, because when you high and you going through shit like that and you by yourself, it's a lot, and it can become a lot on your shoulders when you stressing and you not sleeping and all these things that he was going through, because Michael had insomnia. Another thing is, like, you can't trust every fucking body. Like, it just don't matter if you paying them or they paying you. You can't trust motherfuckers, man. And that was Michael's biggest flaw. He trusted everybody. He was nice to everybody. And you can't be like that for real, because this is what happens. You have people trying to get ways to pump money up out of you, not giving a fuck about your health, not caring about whether or not you're going to breathe tomorrow, none of that, not caring about the fact that you got children, not caring about the fact that you got all types of other shit going on and you have a real reason as to why you taking this medicine, and you trying to, mind you, you got to also think the Pepsi incident left him scarred, and he still had to deal with that scar even until he died. Like, he still was having pains and all of that in his like skull. Like, my man's had to go through surgery just to get his skin to look normal on the top of his head. But I really, really wish he would have actually understood how important he was to people. And not just the people that love him as a fan, but the people that love him as a family member. Like, even though everybody liked to clap and talk this about that movie, we don't know the insides of what happened around that time. All we really know is that Michael did want to break free around that time, but we don't know all of the ins and outs of what was going on. We don't know the bonds of his relationships with his siblings. Although we love to say Janet is his favorite, which everybody knows. Janet probably everybody's favorite because she their baby sister. But we don't know, bro. We really don't know. And I really wish people stop condemning the brothers and stuff like that, or even condemning the father, because Jordan came in and saved him before he passed a couple of times. And sometimes we might not agree with our family members, but for the ones who got our back, it's only so many and so few that really will be out there putting themselves on that limb. And rest in peace to Tito, because I feel like Tito and Jackie to me are probably the realest niggas as far as the brothers go, because they don't speak on too much and they don't do too much. But when it come down to it, they gonna get on your ass about their brother, and they gonna get on your ass about their family. It don't matter if they talking about the daddy, it don't matter if you talking about Michael, it don't matter who you talking about amongst their family. They gonna speak out. But y'all let me know what the fuck y'all think, man. I believe this man because he's been around Michael Jackson. He's actually sat and ate dinner with this man. He has pictures with this man. He brought his kids around this man. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. Peace.
OG told me, but watch your back. Hey, these niggas bound to attack. Gotta know your purpose, understand what work is. These snakes is slurping.